I am Mormon. I grew up that way, so my family always stocked up when the seasons allowed, and the things were the most nutritious and the cheapest. If I had to survive for 3 months and I had no other way to do it, or if I had to travel with a hand cart or something, these are the things that I would have. This is my food storage. I have half-gallon jars of things like rice, beans, flour, honey, spices, oils, vinegars. These are the things that I keep on hand. And when we lived in a fifth wheel, these were the things I kept in a Foot Locker that went with us everywhere, and I knew I had 3 months of survival for my family. So if you're starting from scratch and your cabinets are empty, go for these. I'm going to be creating recipes from these. I don't use specialty ingredients, and hopefully I can teach you how to make your food taste a little bit better when you're stuck using these. It makes me so nervous. There's 2 more days till the Democrats decide if they want to shut down the government for longer or open it back up. And if they decide after the 14th vote to continue to say, no, we don't want to open the government, then there are 42 million people that are going to lose their SNAP benefits. I don't know what that's going to do to our country. I don't know what that's going to do to our children, but I'm a mama. I had 4 kids within 5 years, and all of them were diagnosed with sensory processing disorder by the time they were 18 months. If you want to know my story, I don't do any of it on this channel, and I wasn't planning on to except for 2. But if you want to know our whole story, I have a chronic illness. I have had it since I was 12. It's systemic lupus and Hashimoto's and something called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So I have a bunch of things going on with me specifically. Then my oldest has type 1 diabetes. He was diagnosed a month before he turned 12. All 4 of my kids have been diagnosed since 4 years old with autism spectrum disorder. That whole story is on our other channel called Hurricane Jeffries. Feel free to go look at all of that. I have 2 Instagrams. One is called Chef Elizabeth Jeffries, and the other one is my life and my journey with work and all kinds of things in school. Anyway, that one is called Eli Jeffries. So ELIJEFFRIES over on Instagram. So there's other ways to find out our backstory. If you're wondering why the crap am I listening to this chick, that tells you what we've gone through. I've spent a lifetime trying to feed my children as healthy as possible. I've lost 100 pounds. We eat clean and we have no money for food, so we eat as budget friendly as possible. So honestly, I encourage you to go over and look at Hurricane Jeffries on YouTube and understand our journey. Here's the deal. When I had 4 autistic babies and had therapists coming into our home teaching me how to keep them alive, my husband was going through rad tech school, and he was gone constantly, and that included he was working full-time on a 3rd shift job, and he was doing clinicals, and he was going to school full-time for 2 years. We also didn't have any money because he was only in clinicals, and he worked as much full-time as he could, but it wasn't enough to support our family because he was a hospital transporter. It was not an easy time in our life, and the only way I survived was to use the WIC program. The WIC program is one of those things that might be shut off on Saturday. That WIC program saved our lives. Like, we didn't have enough. We didn't buy junk. It didn't allow you to. It gave you like milk and cheese and vegetables and all of the things that your children needed to get all of the vitamin and nutrition and fats, carbs, and proteins in their life to be able to survive. Those funds might be cut off on Saturday if the government doesn't open back up. I've been there. I've had that fear. The other thing that the WIC program offers you is baby food. It also supplies formula, and all of my children ended up rejecting normal formula and had to have soy-based formula. I could not afford that. There's no way I could have fed my children in the beginning with having specialized formula for them without that WIC program. and those are going to be knocked off. So people are going to be scrambling. It worries me, and I feel the anxiety in the world. Our whole family has anxiety for a lot of reasons, but it's been kind of rotating around my children and me. My daughter had to sleep in our room last night because she had panic attacks all night. She's having one at school this morning, and I had to talk her down. It's just, my kids don't even know about all of this. They're not 100% aware of all of it. Like, my daughter didn't even know what being deported means. And we had a discussion about that. And we live in Durango, Colorado. And I don't know if you watch the news, but the whole ICE situation and the FBI and protesters getting maced, that's my tiny little mountain town. And I learned about the ICE thing from my son, my 17-year-old. It's been a week, y'all. So here's the deal. I do the best I can. I'm going to get as much information that I've learned over the last 18 years with children. I have studied nutrition. I have graduated with honors as a holistic chef, and I had a 4.0, and I've learned a lot along the way. How to keep us healthy, how to survive with nothing, and how to make survival food taste a lot better and get the nutrition along the way. So I'm going to jump into that. I am not on assistance. We barely squeak by because I'm not working right now. We are in what's called shoulder season here in Durango, and that means that there's really no work for anyone. If you work at the resort, you have to wait for them to get ready to open again. So I'm not working for another 3 or 4 weeks. I haven't worked for a month. So budgets are really, really tight. My husband has a great job, thank goodness, and our budget's tight. So I've gone back to the tricks and the things that I've learned. And because of that, here are the things that I would grab.